we will talk about eHealth in Sweden, some of the projects that we are running at Sigma. Then we will have a break for some pizza and drinks. And after that, we will show you the Koala heart monitor, which is this one. Really cool consumer IoT device. And then you will be able to test it and measure your heart while doing this. So yeah, it will be cool. Okay, some questions for you. Are you working in eHealth today or in the connected world or just interested in new technology? So what do you think is the obstacle for digitization within healthcare in Sweden today? Legal, yeah, could be an option. Who do you think will drive the digitization of the Swedish healthcare today? Will it be the healthcare givers or new startups, or what are your thinking about it? Yeah? The patients. Oh, cool. The doctors? Yeah. Do you think security will drive the digitization?
No, it will be a problem.
It's a problem. Ah, okay. The obstacles. Yeah. Security. In what sense? Well, let's see. There's no good answer for that, but we know that there is a good drive for this and new technology within eHealth and the healthcare system today. So I have some numbers here for you. It's McKinsey that released a report 1 or 2 years ago. And the health and medical costs in Sweden, 2013, was 415 billion Swedish krona per year. The prediction is for 2025, 710 billion Swedish krona. And I don't think that anyone would raise the taxes to double them up to cover these costs. So you need to think differently, work differently. And I'm not sure if you know it, there is one region in Sweden, Jämtland Härjedalen, that's actually, if it was a private company, they were bankruptcy. They have crashed. Down here we are discussing it. It's a problem within the health system and so forth, but we are doing like this. We don't look at it. We're just discussing it. What should we do about it? That's why we're here today. So the big thing here is that there's a lot of money that we need to put up to this in Sweden today. If we do nothing, this is what we need to put up. 300 billion Swedish krona. All elderly and yeah, everything, yeah. So that's the prediction. And this gives a really good time to do some improvements and do some innovations, because there's a big gap where you can maybe save some money if you're doing things smarter. The prediction for that is actually, what they have done in this report was actually that they found, I think it's about 14 areas where you could digitize the health system today. The big part is connected devices, sort of connected things, automation and data analytics. And this is the potential of savings 2025, the potential of it, right? So something needs to be done to achieve this, of course, but that means that you can do a lot of investments if you can save this much money. Thing is, who should pay for it? Will it be new startups, new companies doing the new digitization for the Swedish health system, or will it be the Swedish health system doing the investments? Questions? I have a lot of time right now. No, not yet. I will show you some use cases for this, because for the connectivity, I mean, it's 81 billion to save in just that area. And that's connected stuff, like this one. Or the machines in the hospitals and so forth. Automation is actually where everyone is talking right now. You know, the journal systems. That's the automation part of it. To be able to bring your own journal with you. And data analytics is actually a smaller part, but here you have a lot of products already developed that you can use straight away. Oh yes, 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 yes. So under the connectivity, you have, I think it's 5 areas within connected devices, and so I think you have what call it what call it diagnosis services within that area also. Regarding this, so it's clinical decision systems, of course. Norway is really good at this. We have actually a Swedish company today called Kembro. Anyone knows Kembro? Which has one engine for clinical decision systems today. In Norway, they are documenting every treatment that they can clinical prove the what do you call it, the sickness or the problem you have. They are documenting everything in that format that they have. Everything from universities and all the studies they are doing and hospitals, because they know there will be great savings. And actually, this is what exists today, and it's the smallest part of this pot of money. So there are a lot to do, and regarding this, it's of course how do you procure systems, of course, regarding this, and that's up to healthcare, of course, the healthcare services. I will show you some cases that we have done in this area. So this is actually for Jämtland Härjedalen, which is a digital emergency room, it's called. As said, they crashed big time, and they are not allowed to just cut down 10 or 15% straight over. They need to do something new, something innovative to do it. This is one case. In Jämtland Härjedalen, you have the issue of travels to get to meet the doctor or any type of healthcare service. It's long distances. So in this case, it's actually an emergency room where you meet medical personnel, not the doctor, but someone that can take care of you, nurse. And what they will do is actually look into your problems when you get there. So it could be a room everywhere, it could be at ICA or wherever. And they can put the triage for how important it is that you meet the doctor. The doctor themselves, they are connected. So we have a digital solution for this with a camera solution. They can control the camera and everything, and so they can meet them face to face, so to say, and watch how they look or what their problem is. And they can actually sort of relay the errands to a certain doctor. The doctor themselves, they can sit at home and work, or at the hospital, or anywhere else. Fully digitized service. And in this case, it's only by trying to solve the logistics. You shouldn't go to meet the doctor, the travel for maybe 10 or 50 kilometers or even more in this region. It could be there, yes. So it's a medical person there, yes. Yes, to optimize the flow. Optimize flow. And that we have good experiences from here in Malmö, I guess, regarding breast cancer and so forth. Optimize the flow and treat the patients quick. So this is a service that they are focusing on right now. Another one we're doing around this is what we call virtual health rooms. It's Nordic Health Innovation. Just a screenshot from one of the early prototypes we did. What they are doing is exactly the same, but there is no one there at the room when you go there. There are a lot of devices, medical devices, that are connected with the information for the patients coming there, how to use the gadgets or the medical devices there to measure a bunch of different things regarding blood pressure or whatever. On the other side, they can connect digitally through a video conversation with the doctor, observing them and watching the figures coming in, the measurements coming in real time, and see the values, but they see it in a different way than the patient is doing. Can tell them to take the new measurements if they are not good measurements and so forth, and of course give them some consultation regarding this. And that is also because of distances. You know, if you have a heart disease or heart hjärtattack, hjärtinfarkt, heart attack or something like that, you need to go to measure your weight 2 times a day. And if you're 80 years old, living way off the urban areas, then it's really costly for them to get the transportation. It could be a taxi. If it's a winter up there, it's a helicopter, or they need to put them into the hospitals. So it's a lot of money to save on services like this. And this is a service that is not only for when you have long distances to meet the doctor, because that's also an urban problem when you live in, let's say, Malmö, Stockholm, wherever. In Stockholm, you have the what do you call it? Archipelago, where it's hard to meet doctors. You need to do it. In Malmö, for example, it's pretty close to doing it, but would I take a day off or a few hours off from my work to do a checkup to meet the doctor when it suits them? No. I want to do it when it suits me. So it's a service that is actually, they have some cooperation with Indonesia regarding this. Also a lot of islands over there.
The difference between this and what you showed before
This is unmanned. This is unmanned.
and here you can measure these.
Yes.
And the first one was just to talk to the doctor.
Yes, and then you meet up in a video conversation with them. You do that here also, of course. So then we have the Consumer IoT products. This is one that we have developed for a customer called Koala Life. It's a startup. Anyone knows what it is? I told you before. Measuring your heart and lungs. So it's a consumer IoT driven case. So it's a startup driven case. Developing a medtech device. Targeting the customers in a new way, but it's still one of the main customers will be doctors in the private sector that want to be able to track and see their heart patients. And this solves a lot, because normally when it's a connected stethoscope, so to say. So that means a lot actually, because when you meet the doctor today, you rely on their hearing, if they have a good day or bad day. If you take it like that, they're doing a measurement, and you rely on their experience. In this case, you can actually give it for a second opinion to someone else. You do have analytics done on this, both on the app and on the cloud service for a more thorough analytics part of it, so you can get feedback directly. I think personally that we will see a lot of these services coming up, since they are doing a medtech device. It's a certified device for medicine that will change how you use and prescribe healthcare in Sweden.
Yeah, so I've been working with the Koala project since the beginning of this year, so 10 months now. And we're actually a few people here from the Koala project. So we got Linda, she was the designer, and Mikael, he's also a designer, but he was the project manager for the software team. And we have Henrik from Sigma ITC that work with the cloud solution. So this has been a collaboration between different Sigma units. I was responsible for the Android application. But Linda, I think you should be the subject here. Yes, yes. All right, and you can all see this one, right? So let's start is it on? All right. So what we will do is, first we will do a measurement on the chest, and then measurement with the fingers. So let's start. So Linda will put it on her chest, and this was one of the first challenges we've had because putting the device on different areas of the chest will give you different responses. So we decided that we should do both a chest measurement and a finger measurement because then we get enough data to do a proper analysis.
I'm gonna press the button.
Yeah, press the button.
Now you're gonna see how nervous I am.
Yes, exactly. That's why I'm not doing it. So we have a 30-second measurement for both the chest and the fingers. We were talking about testing that we have skin contact, but we're not going to do that now because it's almost, then we have to redo everything. We can try it with the finger measurement.
Yeah.
But so after the data is collected, we control the data, so we see if it's good enough to send to the server and do a bigger analysis. So this small, when we check the data, we see that it contains beats, that the signal is not noisy, is it good enough data, and then we continue. So if you press the button,
I'll put my thumbs here and press the button.
and if you release, and if you release the thumbs now, yeah, so we try to have checkpoints where we check, do we have skin contact? Is the data good enough? Is this working? So we make sure that the data we get is good enough. Yes? Yeah, exactly. We should have like an elevator.
Not very hard. You shouldn't push too hard. It actually says in the text that you should relax in your arms.
Oh, you're
for the
like,
measurement. And now this is not really an optimal environment. It should be quiet and you should sit down and relax and breathe for a minute before you start measuring. And now I'm standing here and I'm nervous.
are you stressed? Are you stressed?
Yeah, I was stressed.
Or worried? Or did you? That's why we have the algorithm as well. We can't make sure. I mean, everyone is. It's users. It's people. Everyone is free to do whatever they want. I guess we can't control what the user are doing. So we can only assure that the data is good enough for us to evaluate.
But
Yep.
by reassuring them to sit down and relax, we make sure that we have the optimal environment to get the.
I mean, whenever you buy a product, the producer always expect something from the user, and you can always disagree. I mean, you can buy. Oops.
I didn't sit down and relax, and yeah, I had a high pulse.
So this is actually the electrocardiogram from Linda right now, and yeah, it seems that you are a bit stressed, maybe.
Yeah. If you press continue.
Oh no.
From the hospital health is that often the patients are stressed, given that they are meeting a doctor.
Exactly.
And then if you can do it in your home, in some sort of relaxed, it's bigger chance that it measures correct compared to when you are stressed at the hospital.
Exactly, and it could also be that when you're home, you're feeling some kind of disturbances with your heart, and then you apply for an appointment, and then it takes time, and when you reach the doctor, it's all gone. You don't feel, you want to know now what's wrong.
Now the app will encourage the user to measure on regular basis, so that you get like a bigger, many measurements that you can compare with. So maybe this one was bad, but if I measure 10 times, maybe 9 of them were good.
Yeah. So try and buy something from Lidl that can do that. All right. So So, yeah, as we mentioned, for obvious reasons, this is a good product that we can use. Like Mattias also talked about, cutting costs and making it accessible for the user and easy to use, and use it at home. And also early detection and prevention to see if we have, as a user, maybe you have heart diseases in your family, or you want to make sure, then you can check yourself and be proactive. And so over 3% of adult Swedes have partial fibrillation, hjärtflimmer, and 30% of them are not detected in standard output care. So that's also a good reason to have this, to be sure, early detection. So as I said, this has been a collaboration between different Sigma units. So at Sigma Connectivity, we have done the hardware and firmware for the device. Me and another girl, we did the Android application and iOS application. And here we've had a third-party solution with analysis from Cardiolund. They've made the algorithm, so we have it in the app and in the cloud solution as well. And Henrik, amongst others, have been working with that. And we also have had Sigma in Stockholm, who fixed the subscription and payment stuff. So we've had a few challenges along the way. This is one of the early flow charts we made. What's happening when we're doing a measurement? It's many if statements, and it's a complicated user flow. And we made the assumption that the typical user was middle-aged and older and wasn't very familiar with super technical stuff, and didn't grow up with medical technical stuff. So that was the thing we started from. And along the way, we realized that we needed to have a simple flow, and that the app was working in a slow pace. It should be rather more steps with a little bit less information than have a lot of information in one view. So we started from here with texts and images and checking skin contact, and we decided to divide it to 2 screens and make it really simple and easy. And we also had some other requirements. We wasn't allowed to use any red colors at all in the application. It should be really not alarming. And then, yeah, exactly. And we had some technical challenges as well, and that was mainly in the hardware. So the materials that we use needs to be biocompatible, shouldn't give any allergic reactions, and also the docking station, the electrodes go down to the docking station. They shouldn't be visible when you're charging. That could be potential harmful. And also the electrical system, if one component dies within the device, then we have a backup system and a backup system for the backup system, and it's just to be sure that everything is working safe. And I guess that's all I had. It was very short, but